Hello, my dear students. This is Kamlesh Singh here on the screen. Today we are going to study a poem, The Lake Isle of Innisfree, composed by an Irish poet, William Butler Yeats. But before I start the explanation of the poem, please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to get further notifications. The Lake Isle of Innisfree. Let us see the introduction of the poem. It is a lyrical poem composed by William Butler Yeats. It explores the poet's longing for peace and tranquility of Innisfree, a place where he spent a lot of time as a boy. Innisfree is a very quiet place, and that is the reason the poet wants to go there. He had spent his childhood in this place. He has very sweet memories of that place, and that's why he wants to go back to the lake isle of Innisfree, the lake island of Innisfree. Let us know about the poet. William Butler Yeats, it is his full name. He was born in Dublin. He was born on 13th June 1865, and he met his death on 28th January 1939. His father was John Butler Yeats. He was a lawyer and a well-known portrait painter. Yeats was educated in London and in Dublin. He is considered to be one of the greatest Western poets of the 20th century. He received the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1923 as Yeats began concentrating his poetry on Irish subjects. He was compelled to accompany his family in moving to London at the end of 1886. There he wrote poems, plays, novels, and short stories, all with Irish characters and scenes. That's why he is also known as an Irish poet. The theme of the poem. The theme in the Lake Isle of Innisfree is nature versus civilization. What we value in nature is often the exact opposite of what civilization brings. Also, civilization sometimes destroys the peace that nature provides. One can find peace in the lap of nature only. Central idea of the poem. This poem reflects on the tranquility of life. In fact, living in a cottage is quite different from fast and hectic life. We can enjoy nature when there is peace of mind. But real peace is impossible in a city. We can find it in a solitary place only. Let us see some difficult words and their meanings. Innisfree, an uninhabited island of Ireland. Vitals means material for making fences, walls, etc. Glade, an open space in a wood or forest. Arise means stand up. Wheels. Wheels means coverings. A piece of thin material to hide the face. Cricket means a type of insect which produces musical chirping sound. Only male cricket produces musical chirping sound. Glimmer means shine. Linnet, it is a kind of bird. Pavement means footpath. Let us see the first stanza of the poem. There are 3 stanzas in this poem containing 4 lines in each stanza in each quatrain. I will arise, go now, and go to Innisfree, and a small cabin built there of clay and wattles made. I here refers to the poet William Butler Yeats. The poet says that he wants to go to Innisfree. He will build a small room for himself. How he made it? With the help of clay, small sticks, which are used to make the walls of the fences of the cabin. 9 bean rows will I have there, a hive for the honeybee, and live alone in the bee-loud glade. 9 bean rows I have there, as he will need some food also to eat, so he will grow 9 rows of beans near the room. He will also get honey from the honey bee hive and live alone in the bee-loud glade. He says that the open space where he will build his room will be full of buzzing sound of bees, and he will live there all alone in peace and tranquility. Tranquility means calm or free from disturbance. Next stanza. And I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow. In this stanza, the poet says that in Innisfree he will feel peaceful. He also says that the feeling of peace comes slowly and gradually, dropping from the wheels of morning to where the cricket sings. Now he describes how he would feel peaceful. In the morning, when it is cloudy, the view is not clear. It will appear as if the morning has worn a veil and has hidden itself. Looking at this scene, he will make him feel peaceful. He further says, when the male cricket insect will sing a song, or it will make chirping sound, that sound will bring him peace. And the last line, and evening full of linnets' wings. Their midnights all a glimmer and a noon purple glow. During midnight, when he will see the stars twinkling in the sky, that twinkling or their shining will give him peace. In the afternoon, when the sunlight will give a purplish glow, it will also give him peace. And evening full of linnets' wings. The poet says that during the evening, when he will see the linnet bird flying in the sky, at that time also he will feel peaceful. This is the last stanza of the poem. I will arise and go now, for always night and day I hear lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore. In this stanza, the poet says that he will stand up and will go to Innisfree because all the time, whether it is night or day, all the time the sound of lake water striking the shore repeats in his mind, and this sound attracts him towards the lake. While I stand on the roadway or on the pavement's grey, I hear it in the deep heart's core. The poet says that whenever he is standing either on the roadway or on the grey colored pavements or footpaths, he hears the sound deep in the innermost part of the heart. This indicates that he wants to escape from the artificial life of the city and wants to go to the peaceful surrounding of nature. What is the message of the poet through this poem? The poet longs for a natural retreat where he will live in peace. Through this poem, the poet depicts that the present world is full of dirt and noise. The poet highlights the moral value of the poem, appreciating the natural beauty of nature. While searching for natural beauty, one can find solitude and peace. Now, let us know some literary devices used in the poem. First of all, rhyming scheme. Let us see this stanza. Here, day rhymes with grey. Shore rhymes with core. Day, consider it as a. In the same manner, same pronunciation same sound, grey. Let us consider it also a. Shore, core, b, b. In this way, rhyming scheme is A B in whole the stanzas, in all the three stanzas. Next, alliteration is also used here. What is alliteration? The repetition of a consonant sound in two or more closely placed words is called alliteration. For example, hive, honeybee. Here H sound is repeated. Next is lake, lapping, low. Here L sound is repeated. Next, personification. It is a figure of speech in which lifeless objects and abstract ideas are thought of as living beings. For example, morning. The word morning is personified here as a woman who covers her face with wheels. Next is metaphor. Metaphor is a figure of speech in which two unlike objects are compared without using the words of comparison, as, so, like. For example, wheels of morning. Here the word wheels is used metaphorically for the clouds, dew, or fog. It appears as wheels in the sky in the morning. Next device is used by the poet, that is imagery. It is used in greater detail. It is the name given to the elements in a poem that sparks off the scenes. Images need not be only visual. They can any of the five senses. They can be any of the five senses, such as sight, hearing, touch, taste, or smell. These can respond to what a poet writes. For example, be loud, glad. The speaker wants to be surrounded by the sounds of nature. Glade is an open space in the forest. Next is all a glimmer, means all a glimmer, noon a purple glow. We can see the combined images used by the poet that appeal to our sight with the description of midnight being all a glimmer and noon being a purple glow. Next, cricket sings linnet's wings. We have also the images that directly appeal to our sense of hearing with the sounds of crickets and the beating of linnet's wings. The imagery used by the poet appeals to a variety of senses. It really helps us to imagine the scenes and the places. And the last one is title. The Lake Isle. The Lake Isle sets up pretty perfectly for a poem with tones of natural imagery. Even choosing the word isle over island makes us think of some places dreamy and remote and totally pleasant. Let us discuss some question and their answers. Question number first, where does the poet want to go? The poet wants to go to Innisfree, a peaceful island. What will he build there? He will build there a room with the help of clay and wattles. Question number third, what does the poet propose to do in Innisfree? The poet proposes to have a small cabin to live in and to plant 9 rows of beans and also to keep honeybees hive. Question number 4. Describe the lake's atmosphere as described by the poet. The lake's waves hit its shore and create a low sound. It gives him aesthetic pleasure. He hears it and enjoys it. He finds his peace of mind in the lake's atmosphere. Now, the concept of the poem, as I think, has become clear. Dear students, if you have not subscribed our channel till now, please subscribe it right now and press the bell icon to get further notifications and hit the like option if you have liked the video. Okay students, thanks for watching the video. Be happy forever. Goodbye.